Good morning. I'm in Siem. It's my 8th day. It's a Sunday, the 28th of August, and it's the 106th day of the drive beyond borders. Ever since I started, it was always been at the back of my mind. So the first phase, I guess, officially started when I crossed into Thailand from Malaysia. And that was on the 1st of June or 31st of May. And the second phase was when I crossed into the next country, which is Cambodia. But all the while, the thought of Siem Reap and the Angkor temples, the thought was always in the back of my mind, right? And what makes this time special, different? I mean, I've been to the temples, I've taken tuk-tuks, I've rode motorcycles, I've cycled, right, to the temples. Angkor Wat is about 6.6 to 7 kilometers up north of Siem Reap, along the main highway, which is called Charles de Gaulle, French, I even went there during I think it was the Khmer New Year party and all that, and people celebrating around the temples and all that. But this will be the first time I'm driving into the temples. Now, what's the difference? The thing is, there are two circuits in if you go through the temple complex, right? The main temple complex, the smaller one and the larger one. And even riding a bike was difficult sometimes because, just going all the places and worrying about rain, and then before it gets too dark, coming back, and the highways, because driving back on a bike, it's not exactly the safest thing, and the dust in your face and all that, and bicycling through it was really good because you take your time. But again, you couldn't cover like the smaller temples, or you'll be spending a lot of time in between temples, right? So this time, driving into it, I'll be able to do a few things I think that I wasn't able to do before, but primarily that will allow me to spend more time and be there as long as I want, right? So the journey starts. I have a 5-day pass, and on my left is the hostel I've been staying at. It's called Revolution Hostels, and it's pretty good. Good people, and the owners just started the Revolution Hostel in Pai, Thailand. So by the time I head back there at the end of this year, I'll check out their hostel over there in Pai. So end of the year, my plan is after Cambodia, I'll be back in Thailand, head up north, hopefully either be in Chiang Mai or in Pai, and then as the 30 days visa and temporary import permit runs out, I'll go into Laos and spend time in Luang Prabang. And then when the 30-day in Laos almost finishes, I'll then go back to Thailand and be in Chiang Mai and Pai. So that will sort of be my base. I feel it, that's the base north, from the end of the year until early next year. And let's see what happens early next year, because the plan is, by March, hopefully China's borders will be open, and I'll be in Laos, and from there I'll just drive into China, and depending on whether Russia's borders are open or not, by then the war is over and things are okay again, then I'll be able to drive into Russia through Mongolia. If not, I'll have to turn back into China from Mongolia, which wasn't the plan, which isn't the plan, but hey, China is big enough because I can only stay in China for 30 days. So 30 days in China, what can you see, right? So very minimal. So 30 plus 30 might not be such a bad idea if things don't work out with Russia. And if things don't work out with Russia, I can't get into Europe, because the initial plan was to drive through Mongolia towards like Lake Baikal, towards Irkutsk, and then I will drive the Trans-Siberian Highway, not railway, to Moscow and St. Petersburg, and then exit into Estonia. So that was the initial plan. But if you can't go through Russia, if I can't go through Russia, that plan sort of goes out the window, right? So, which would be a shame. I just hope everything, not just for me, but I just hope, by next year, the COVID as the pandemic has really like, we nipped its butt or managed to manage it, and by then also some sort of resolution, okay, and peace between Ukraine and Russia can be achieved. I mean, it's just senseless to go through all this killing and wars and all that. And seriously. Well, anyways, so I'm heading to the temples right now, and yep, let's go. Usually the first trip most people would go, and I've done it before, is to wake up early in the morning, so you can, like 4 o'clock, the tuk-tuk will pick you up, and then you head towards the ticket counter, and from there head on towards Angkor Wat and see the sunrise, right? And then you take it from there. What I like about this time that's different is because I don't have to book any tuk-tuk to take me in the morning, and I didn't have to have the pass buying and visit, in the same journey to save money. There's a certain sense of I can do it whichever way I want. And so this morning I planned to take it easy. I didn't want to wake up early and go and watch the sunrise. I've seen it before, but I want to see it again. And the thing is, I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow morning or the day after. If I sleep early tonight, I wake up early, I'll just drive in the dark towards the temples towards Angkor Wat to watch the sunrise. Yeah, so that's one of the things, a possible itinerary. Okay. So today I'm just gonna enjoy the ride, the drive. When you're riding a bike, when I rode a bike previously, a motorcycle or when I was biking, you always have to, you're always affected, and you're not able to take your time as much, I think, and just see. And this is what I want to experience this time round, just heading into the temples, heading towards the temple complex. The first one we will see will be the Angkor Wat complex, but then as we go past it and we enter Angkor Thom, which is the old city, the grand city. So Angkor Wat is the grand temple, and a great grand temple, and Angkor Thom is great grand city, which was the capital of the Khmer Empire back then for a while, before it got sacked and got overthrown by the Thais, the Ayutthaya Empire. They basically kicked the Khmer Empire's ass, and because of that, they had to move. The Khmer Empire had to move the capital from Angkor Thom, the grand/great city, to Phnom Penh down south. So yeah, and as you enter Angkor Thom, you will cross a bridge and you'll see the walls, right? The ruins of the walls around the city, because it is a walled city with the temple Bayon in the middle, and other facilities, right? And I remember that, and it's just grand going in, just just heading in. So I hope it's going to be the same, and I want to share the experience with you, because it's just a different experience. Just heading into it, it's like you're almost like sort of stepping back in time for a bit there, right? And that's the difference between the temples in Ayutthaya, in Kampeng Phat, and in Sukhothai. They're beautiful temples, but the Angkor Archaeological Park, it's magical. I don't even know how much can be captured on video, but when you're there, it's just magical, man. All right, okay, now onwards. And see, I'm supposed to turn left, but fuck, man, how do you do this? Yeah, just follow the Cambodians, man. Just follow the Cambodians, do what they do. Okay, got it. Nice. Getting out of the city and heading north. This is the main road, and this road is called the road to Angkor, but the official name is Charles de Gaulle. Cambodia was part of the French Indochine, and you still get a lot of people who speak French here, similar to Vietnam, and you have a bit of the French colonial culture here and there, and it gives a bit of an edge, a special little exotic edge to the town. Funnily enough, right, it's like in Europe, anything Oriental gives it an edge, so the Orient, and over here it's like we are in the Orient, and we are in Asia, and the European influence actually is like, hey, a bit exotic over there. So it's the reverse, so yeah. So from here, it's a straight road until the temples. I see that kid cycling. That's what I did before. And the thing about Siem Reap is it's dusty. So and occasionally you get all these pickups and small little lorries, and they drive past you, and the heat and the sand and the dust just hits your face, and your lungs are like, oh fuck, and that's that's one thing. The other thing is keeping your eyes on the road, and the heat. Right now, for example, I'm sitting in an air-conditioned car, right? So, and previously the heat, the sand, and just worrying about traffic, whether somebody's gonna knock into me or whatever like that. Yeah, didn't allow me to enjoy or experience this journey as much as I could have, and I'm really enjoying it now. Just this slow drive, just heading towards the temples. The anticipation, man. I mean, there's a little, small little butterfly, just fluttering its wings inside, and I'm not in no hurry, and that's the best part. Not rushing anywhere is one of the best. It's underappreciated. To be able to not rush, okay, is underrated, man. It's one of the most enjoyable things to not rush. And I realize, and I do realize, that not rushing is actually a privilege, right? It's a privilege that we give ourselves, because we live in a world where we're expected to do as many things as we can, term that we use for that is being productive, right? So if you can actually get 5 things done in the same amount of time that you took to do 4 things previously, you're the man, you're the woman, you're being productive. And that's what technology is positioned to be all about, for you to be able to do more in the same amount of time, okay? And therefore you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no gaps, and technology allows you to do that. You're always in communication and all that. So the idea is this: if you took 8 hours to do 10 things previously, you would take 2 hours to do the same 10 things, right? But the problem is this: now you're expected to do, instead of 10 things, you're expected to do 40 things. And technology now allows you to do 40 things, and you are expected to do 40 things, right? And that's where it gets crazy, because isn't technology and all our advances meant to improve our lives, to make us do less? So in a day, we can actually spend more time away from work, spend more time with ourselves, spend more time with our families and all that, right? So instead of doing 40 things now in the same 8 hours, how about we just do the same 10 things we used to do in 2 hours and spend the rest of the 6 hours, just focusing on our lives, on our family, on the people that we love, on our skills, on essentially realizing our potential beyond work. Oh, okay. Hello. So today.
Hello.
One.
Tôi.
Oh, sorry.
Where you from?
Malaysia. But so this one I can go 5 times, right?
Yeah.
Okun.
5 times.
5 times. Okun. How are you?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Sok sabai?
Nah, so bad. Okun je no.
Okun chiran.
Ai còn mong nè.
Yeah. Camp. Yeah. You want to see?
No.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, so that was the guard. He marked my ticket. So yes, it's confirmed. I can go in 5 times over 5 days. And because I'm not in a rush, that's pretty cool, man. So yep, so that was the checkpoint. And during the new year, I just remember 4 years ago, right? You see these trees, right? Cambodians would drive their cars here, park somewhere, because the entry to the temples and temple grounds are free to them. They park it and they'll have a picnic, right? They'll have a picnic and there'll be music and some back then there was like everywhere the song by Chainsmokers. It's like, hey, da, 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 da. You know that song by Chainsmokers. Da, da, totally, totally, da, da. In the backseat of your Rover, la, 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 la. That song was everywhere, right? Every single other tuk-tuk or van with families just picnicking along these grounds was playing that music, which was pretty cool. Just getting into it, just the trees, man. Whew. So this is where we turn left. And the temple, you can just glimpse it, the side of the temple, okay, across the water. Because this is the moat around the temple. So it's a square compound, and this goes around the temple. Yes, you can see the locals coming here, you know. I mean, when you have this in your backyard, and where you have this, you know, you have something that people from all over the world come and witness and come and see. I think you feel really good about it. You know, this is our history, right? And it is one of the wonders of the world. It really is. 900 years later, it's still one of the wonders of the world. Imagine how it was at its height, at the height of the Khmer Empire. How it would have been. As I turn right, you will be able to see on the right-hand side the walkway, the bridge, the access from here across the moat towards the Angkor Wat temple. Oh man, it still gives me the willies, man. So you can see it. Oh, there's some people there. So the temple, you can just see the entrance on the right, and because it's all water, you can see the walkway, that path, that bridge that walks, that where you walk towards the temple. You can just see it on the right. And the thing is, today I'm not gonna stop at Angkor Wat, because I'll be coming for the sunrise either tomorrow or day after. So I'm going straight towards Angkor Thom, the city. And the road is blocked. What's going on, dude? Yeah, well, you can't drive through, so because everybody's walking towards the temples. So I'll have to have a slight detour. Now, how the hell do I get there? Oh, this is interesting. If I can't drive through that, how do I access Angkor Thom? Okay, let me figure this out. Yeah, I had to make like a round, you know, go around the entrance of the temple, which is now on my right, the one that was blocked, and the road to Angkor Thom is to my left. And yes, it's not blocked. Fantastic, dude. Yes. The Angkor Wat, the Grand Temple that we just passed, where everybody goes, you know, that's the main thing, right? The main attraction. It's actually south of the Grand City, the walled city. We're heading towards the walled city now, and just look at the trees, man. If I'm not mistaken, you know, I don't run marathons, but my friends who do did say that it's one of the best runs because of the you know, the scenery, and perhaps maybe this is one of the routes where they run. And if you run a marathon with this on this road, I think it looks pretty cool, man. This is recce day. This is Sunday. You know, Sunday fun day. I don't even have to go down that much, but just see the route, what I want to do and where I want to stop, you know, tomorrow and day after and the day after that. See, as you can see, I'm the only foreign car. They stopped me. Saturday.
Only you?
Yes.
Can I go with you?
Come.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, okun charan. See, the locals love the temples as much as, you know, we do. I see, that's the gate, dude. We're crossing the bridge into the gate. Pew, pew, pew. And that's why it makes it worth it, right? To pay so much. I mean, the ticket prices. Because it goes into preserving this, not just for tourists and travelers, who, by the way, most of the time, you know, much more financially well off than Cambodians. Man. The city gate, dude. The city gate. Should I stop here? I stopped here previously and I just walked around the gates, you know, just explored all the areas around it. But today is recce day. And because it's recce day, I'm just gonna drive on. I want to drive on. And if you go straight on, that's where Bayon is. The temple with like 1,000 faces, man. This is gorgeous. I'm driving slower than the bikes, dude. There she is. There's too many people today. I'm not gonna go down there like school expeditions, and I'll leave the exploring to another day, to tomorrow maybe. Wow. I wish you could see it, man. You'll see it tomorrow. Okay, this is an official parking spot. Chill out, food, snacks, drinks. So let's stop here, shall we? And give some business to the locals. Hey monkey, get off the road, dude. My grandfather is Hanuman. This is my road. You're right. Nice. Okay. I'll talk to you later.